Greetings, gamers. I hope everyone is out there and you can hear me okay. Hello. My audio was being a little weird, but it was working fine today. Earlier when I took you guys over there, but welcome, welcome to the show. This is just a very impromptu live screen. If you're out there, and it looks like there's three of you who are, if you can't hear me, if it can you hear me? I hope so. Post a comment over yonder and let me know that everything is working with my audio. If I'm really faint or something, let me know. Joe Kaufman can hear me. That's good enough for me. Greetings to you all. I am seeing your comments over on YouTube. So Cooperative Waffle is good to see you. If you can hear me, super chat. So you know that I can hear you. I'm kidding, guys. That's always the joke. I have had an extraordinarily cool day today. We played. What did we play? I played The Lost Crypt. I had a really cool group with the Lost Crypt. Now, I enjoyed everybody being there, but was a super cool surprise because he was not signed up on the roster was Jeff Talanian. Crashed my game, and that was excellent. That was excellent. And I'm glad you guys can hear me okay. So I said I would hop on again. For all my fellow East Coasties, I'm living in that weird space between the seas, not on the seas like a normal person should live. So I'm a little out of sync time-wise. I don't want to say I just got back, but around 9:30, 9:45-ish, Alan and I got back here to the hotel suite in the lovely Cove. And we had dinner. I want to show off a little bit of swag here. I went to the EGGCon 2 reception, and there's the ticket. This is just a little fantastic piece of work that Eric Garland, Eric and Heidi put together. This is really cool. So what this says is, greetings to you, the lucky bearer of this ticket from Heidi Gygax Garland. I shake you warmly by the hand. For now, I do invite you to come to the mystic and the notorious Rathskeller and be my guest for an evening of beverages and tasty morsels, marvelous and fantastic. And it was a lot of fun. We went to the Rathskeller. It is beneath the Tuscan Tavern and Grill. I had a lot of tasty food down there, some delicious drinks. I had a whiskey and Coke. I wasn't sure what whiskey it was. I'm not a whiskey connoisseur, so I can't really. I ordered a Jack and Coke, and she was like, "Well, we have such and such." So I was like, "Take booze, mix Coke." So I mean, I was more polite than that, but yeah. So I had a Jack and Coke, and then I had some Spotted Cow, of course. Only 3 this time. I didn't have the dozen that I had when I was at Heidi and Eric's house the last time I was up here in Lake Geneva. But so yeah, so we went up there. That was my little get-in ticket. And here's our drink voucher tickets. Were pretty cool looking. I kind of get the feeling that these were probably a little bit pre-made, not necessarily for this event, but they're still cool. They're still cool. Or if I can come back up here in a couple of years and use that if I'm at the con again. No, I would not try that. But speaking of being at the con, I got my badge holster doohickey. This is pretty neat. You're darn right it was cool. You're darn right it was cool, Michael Dale. I got free dinner. And that's never bad. Speaking of guests, well, it looks like somebody might step in and crash the studio here. Everybody, there's
hi everyone.
The one and only Alan Hammock. Alan, how are you, man?
Good.
How was EGGCon day 1?
I don't know. It's been a lot of fun. Got to play a board game and got to talk with a bunch of old friends and meet people, and we got to go to that reception. That was pretty cool.
The reception was pretty cool, and neither you or I started a drunken bar fight at the reception.
Yes,
we made it through the entire evening with not a single beer bottle broken over anyone's head.
At least not as far as they know. So,
not as far as they're aware.
That's
yes.
right.
So I'm going to turn this just a little bit so I'm a little more in frame, and out there we go. A little less me like a bad wedding guest out over there on the other side, but. Alan held court and told some tales out of school, and we had a lot of fun.
It's the kind of thing you only get actually coming to conventions and talking to people in person instead of online.
Yes, exactly. So this is one of those warm friendship times when you and I can actually be in the same room together and not you're on a green screen in southern Alabama.
That's very neat.
Further southern, but yeah, so this is really cool. And now did you run anything?
I did. I ran a board game.
That's
Metro board game.
Yeah, you ran Metro. It's sitting over there on the table. But I was just telling them I ran Lost Crypt, that lovely little cake slice out of Teeth of the Barkash Nor. That was a lot of fun. Only off 2 characters.
Trying to get into your game is, last night we're trying to get extra places.
That's right. That's right.
We were in high demand.
I was in high demand. Can you forgive me? I only offed 2 characters in that session.
The dice are the dice. Demons don't kill characters. Players kill characters.
Exactly. The easy part is offing characters. The difficult part is keeping them alive.
Yes, exactly.
Players are like toddlers. They'll run right off that cliff. You go, no. But anyway, so it's.
I'm gonna wave and say goodnight. It's past my bedtime, but I didn't want to drop in and crash.
Yes,
I always crash whenever there's a camera.
Well, we'll drag you kicking and screaming on at least one more stream before we turn in, and don't be afraid to call management on us if we get too loud out here on the stream. Alan Hammock, everybody. How cool is that? That's just one of the great TSR alums who's been here. Wave O Mutilation. This is, hey, could you guys do me a favor? Take the URL for this, because I'm a little electronically inept at the moment. Take the URL for this and paste it to everybody over on the Discord, so folks aren't missing out. And if you're watching me over on X, if you're watching us on X, please say hi in the comments. I can't see them on YouTube. I'm actually watching on YouTube right now, but I will see them up here on the stream if briefly. My phone is pretty kick-ass for this, and using my phone for streaming was probably one of the best and smartest ideas. And I thank Ardu RPG for giving me that, because the laptop, this little jewel right here is really awesome, but it does chug trying to stream video, particularly over wireless. So bless its heart, we use it for the right things, and I'm watching y'all's comments so I can see them a little bit better. So thank you, everyone. But I want to say hey to everybody that I see out there in the chat. Michael Dale, Joe Kaufman, Cooperative Waffles, Sierra Christopher Coyle, Wave, I see you out there. That's all of you folks that are speaking up right now. But anyway, it was a ton of fun. Oh, I was showing off my badge doohickey. So here's my badge wallet. EGGCon 2, there's my name. Yes, please like and subscribe. Thank you very much, guys. If you haven't already, click the subscribe button and click the bell icon for notifications. That's how these guys knew about this cool little stream. I didn't announce this out anywhere. They saw the notifications and they came running. Well, I did announce it over on Twitter, but that was just a few minutes ago. So anyway, I've got this. Now I have these, and this like makes me feel all fancy. Game Master and Special Guest. I have these. These are supposed to stick on here. I'm not sticking them on here because these things, I've been to many cons, and even Heidi and Eric told me when they handed me these, they're not sticking real well. so many cons you go to, and you'll see these things lying on the ground somewhere. It's like, participant, special guest, game master, DM, whatever. So I'm going to keep these in my wallet. People know who I am. And I don't mean that in an arrogant way. It sounded arrogant, but I mean, it's a small enough con that if people see Bill Sylvie, they know that I'm going to run, something, or I'm going to someone's game. So I'm hoping to get, sneak into Alan's game tomorrow, but I am running stuff. I'm running, well, you know what? We'll get into what I'm running in just a little bit, but anyway, so further swag. I did get some dice. I did get some con themed dice. This is EGGCon 2, and I want to try to get that centered. My camera to focus on it a little bit better. I'm not even sure where the hell. I think it's there. But yeah, there's that. I'm an industry stalwart. I wouldn't go that far. But yeah, so I got 2d6. Try backing it up a little bit. Back it up, back it in. Let me begin. Yeah, but if I bet, see, I'm not sure what my bit rate on my camera is, or if this is even that nice. So anyway, so I got these 2d6. Now let's get over to the swag bag that I got. This is the bag of holding that I got today. Now, when I took you guys over to the other hotel and we went through check-in, this is what I was picking. One of the things that I was picking up. Let's look inside. Let's unbox. I got, first and foremost, I got, I haven't done this yet. I haven't been as active as I might have. This is the EGGCon 2 passport, and this is kind of for a sort of a scavenger hunt-ish sort of thing, where you go place to place and you get signatures in different locations around Lake Geneva. In case you're wondering what Lake Geneva looks like, it looks like that. There's a map of Lake Geneva. Now you know. Pause your video. You can come here. You can navigate around. You have it all. So yes, this is the Egg Quest, and I was holding it sideways because I'm a Pratt, but not a good one like Chris Pratt, just a dumb one. But yeah, you would go from place to place and get let's see. Return to the Gasland booth HQ shores by Sunday the 28th before the close of the con, and show your passport and or your selfies and be rewarded. And you get custom EGGCon D6 die of power and a whole lot of fun photo ops in the town that started it all. I've got to get over to the library. I am told that in this, that there's a picture of me and Gary in like a kiosk here at the library. So I at least want to go see that on Saturday. Horticultural Hall, which I actually passed on foot tonight on our way to the thing, and I should have taken a selfie there. The bottle shop, just so much stuff. I may be very busy Saturday during the day getting all these selfies if I want to do that. Getting some exercise and walking off all that good food that I had today. Here's the Schedule O events. What's happening. So this is very cool. This is a nifty little program. I quite like that. Now this is just a piece of this 20-sided tavern. That's something that's happening in Chicago. If you're in the Chicagoland area, you might want to check it out. And I did see a few people I'm not going to out anybody who's a fan of the show who I ran into today, but I did see some people who've actually seen the show, and that was super cool. Thank you. If you stayed subscribed to the channel, bless you. YouTube's absolutely murdering me. So please, if you haven't already, click the subscribe button. Please do that. Is Heidi running her new board game? You know what? That's a good question. Let's see if Dragon Derby. Heidi and Eric, thank you, by the way. Let's see. Are they running Dragon Derby? All right. Let's see. Well, that would really be events. You know what? I will look into it. I cannot reliably look in the schedule of events and YouTube without causing this poor little thing to catch fire. I'll try. You know what? Let's. All right. Let me see. Okay, I don't see it, but this thing, you know what? Here, we'll do all days. I don't see it, and I'm going to tell you something. I could not find my own games in the schedule. So, I think I told you guys this already, but I have a funny story. Yesterday, when we were still kind of staggering around, not drinking beer and not being checked in and not having a good time, we went to, I shouldn't say not having a good time. We were having a fine time. Just we couldn't find. I went to the lobby, and who do I run into? But Jeff Hyperborea Talanian, and he's like, "Hey, can I get in your game?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it's sometime on Saturday." And he's like, "Nah, it's tomorrow." I was like, "Tomorrow? Is it shit? Is it tomorrow?" So I ran back to the hotel and I tried to look on the schedule of events. And what I had to do was go into my email and find where I had signed, where I had done the things. And then I followed back through to my account on tabletop.events. And then I was able to pull it up. But yeah, prior to that, I was just like, I had no idea. So thank you, Jeff Talanian, for actually being there right at that. The universe helped me out. So yeah, without. But the truly funny thing is, so I'm going to turn the camera a little bit so you guys can see. There's the front door, as it were, to the hotel room. I looked all over the place to find what room they had put me in, and they were like, "Oh, okay, so you want to go here, here?" And I was like, "Guys, the layout of this place, look it up online. It is screwy." So you know that theory about The Shining? Well, it's not really theory about The Shining, but you know how they overlook The Shining screws with your head, with your perceptions of time and space in it and everything like that. This hotel really does that. The first floor is on the second floor. If you're on the first floor, you have to take an elevator up to the first floor. No, I'm not making that up. No, I am not misspeaking. No, I am not that drunk. We have to go down a flight of stairs, and then get on an elevator and go up to the second floor, which is the first floor. That's where the lobby is. That's where the restaurant is. That's where the store is. And it's ground level. I should point that out. That is at ground level. But I'm also at ground level because through the window that's over there, there's a parking lot. And I don't mean an underground one. So it's weird. But anyway, so we what was I talking about? Oh, right. So I went up and I was like, "Where is the sandpiper room?" And they were like, "We have to go here, and then you go all the way to the end, and then you go around this little hairpin kind of turn with stairs, and you go up and then you go down and so on. And the last thing she said was, it's right across from room 138. I was like, room 138? And she was like, yes. That's literally across the hall, like just a little further down. Why would I go further down the hall? This is my room. I would just stop right here. So yeah, just a little further down the hall was a room where I ran Lost Crypt for AD&D, and I went I went all the way down. So that happened. Back to the swag bag. I have a bumper sticker, Lake Geneva, where the game Wizards play. Quite nice. Don't know what I'll put this on. Probably not a vehicle. Let's see. What else is in here? Oh. We can look at this together. More unboxing. My Adventures in Tim in Space. Sure. EGGCon t-shirt. Check it out, boyos. Y'all probably prefer that in front of my face, don't you? So yes, celebrating Gary Gygax in the birthplace of adventure. So I personally wish it said in the birthplace of Dungeons and Dragons, but I don't want to get in trouble. So yes, that is my t-shirt. That is part of my swag bag that I got for being a game master. So I'll be rocking that one night this week. So we can put that back in there. I'll never fold it up to fit in that Ziploc package properly. My adventures in time and space, to be where I have been. All right, so there's that. Moving on. And I think the last thing that was part of the regular swag bag is this Extreme Spiders by Christopher Clark. This is a first edition AD&D adventure, and I will be running this tomorrow at noon, a 3-hour AD&D adventure here. This is tournament module, and I'm not going to show you guys the inside of it. I'm not going to show you guys the maps or anything like that, because it is top secret until such time as the adventure happens, other than see this. So I'm hyped. It's going to be very cool. So I'm going to be running that tomorrow. I've got a table of folks. And then after that, in the evening/afternoon, I have got a bit of I've got a bit of a rest, and then I'm running the Temple of Evil Chaos. Bonus points to you if you know what the Temple of Evil Chaos is, but I'm not going to spoil it for you. It's a low-level adventure. Now, I received gift-wise this little jewel right here. Well, first of all, these little jewels right here. This little bag of dice. These are little pig-themed dice, and there's a specific reason for that. I think the D6s are the only ones that are, yes. So again, not sure if you guys can see that. That's a little bit clearer. It's a little bit clearer. There's a whole baggie of those. So if I had needed dice, I would have been hooked up, but I didn't. I brought dice. Look at this, Hamoverfest, which I actually did the OD&D conversion work for. So we can pop this open. What have I signed up to play? I'm going to sneak into at least one game that Alan is running. And then I'm going to see if I can sneak into anybody else's. You know how it goes with cons. So yeah. And oh, it is proper slipcover. But yes, OD&D conversion by Bill Sylvie. I am he as he is me. So super, super hyped about that. I'm too tall for sneaking. Oh, you're too big to be a thief. So that is pretty cool. Just throw that back in the poly bag. I don't know that it's an actual poly bag. It may just be a nice plastic bag. So come on. So anyway, in the overall, it was a pretty good day. So I'm gonna put that right there. Yes. So I got the bag of holding. I love it. It's waking all up. I got a lot of cool swag. I had a pretty good time today. I had a pretty good time this evening. The 10K con is going to go off. Yeah, it's going to go off in the woods and die. There's with the way YouTube is jerking me around, guys. I'm going to be 60 before I hit 10K subs. And at that point, I simply won't care. I'm just kidding. But no, I don't. Hey, Michael. Mertig, I should say. Yeah, I'm having a good time. I'm having a good time. I got everything sorted for now. This is going to seem like a weird swerve. I think the kids say it's a weird swerve. But I am glad that I got my trip back squared away. I wasn't sure if I would have to Uber from Lake Geneva to Chicago. That's a stretch of the legs. That I'm always stressed about flying. Never not stressed about flying. So I got a like Sunday day. I'll go in and I'll do my pre-check for the flight and everything, and then basically Monday at 5 in the morning, which means I need to be up at 1 a.m. Hopefully, I can sleep in that late. I will be flying home, and I will be home Monday morning-ish. I would not look for a live stream on Monday afternoon. I'm just being honest with you guys. I'm probably going to get home sometime Monday at like 10 or 11 in the afternoon, and I'm going to sleep all day. Yeah, Joe, I don't like flying either. As Caliber, ex Ardu RPG. Well, hello, Ardu. You heard your name and you appeared because we are we are live on my phone, and it's not latent, and it is a nice high quality because you suggested I do this. I got this lovely selfie stick stand thing, and it works a treat. I'm monitoring comments and whatnot over here on the laptop. It is grand. Thank you so much for your suggestion. Yeah. Well, I did. If you go out, if you go back on the channel, Ardu, and look, I did like a 30-40 minute stream today where I went over to the sales booths, the marketplace, and I saw a lot of very cool people. And I just walked around and I shot a lot of video, and it was here. So I'm DM for an adventure and also going to. Yes, I'm going to try and get, like I said, Alan's going to let me kibitz in to one of his games. This is my phone. This is my phone you guys are watching on. Which you know something, guys. This goes back to something that I said a long time ago, and I keep beating this drum. If you want to play TTRPG, this all you need is a phone and a way to prop it up. If you can't get to your friends anywhere, what I'm doing right here is like a $200 smartphone. Somebody said it can't be an iPhone. It is not. This is a Galaxy A24, not an S24, an A24. This is one of their discount phones, their budget phones. Excuse me. So yeah, this is just phenomenal. And I really like it. I was like, because back like when Heidi and Eric started talking about this, I was thinking of bringing like this crazy like micro HP micro workstation that's like that thick, and then the dimensions are like this. It's disc, well, it's not diskless, it has it has permanent storage in it. And it's got like a SSD, 16 gigs of RAM, like a 16 core CPU in it, and it's all USB 3, Thunderbolt, and DVI-D, or not DVI-D, HDM. No, what is the one? What is that horrible HDMI standard that's like it's like not HDMI. It is HDMI exactly, except the port is differently shaped. I can't remember what that's called. But yeah, like I was like, okay, I'll pack this in my luggage. I'll pack a portable monitor that I have, and I'll get a mouse, I'll get a keyboard, and I'll get a little microphone. And I was like, and a webcam. I was like, I'm gonna be packing like 25 extra pounds of gear in. And if my suitcase gets bumped, even a little bit, no, it's not many HDMI. I think it's no shit. I can't think of what it is right now. But yeah, if my suitcase gets bumped just wrong, that monitor dies. So I tested this out with you guys a couple of nights in a row, and here we are. Everything's fine. You guys can hear me. You can see me. Somebody said this looks professional. Do you think this looks better than what I live stream with? Yeah, too much encumbrance. Display port. That's what I was trying to think of. Display port. Why do we have display port? Because of freaking Apple. And there's no difference between it and HDMI. None. None. Same signals. But we're stuck with it now. Give me a video card that just has 4 HDMI ports on it. But no, you're going to have display port and a couple of HDMI. So listen, I want to take a minute to talk about my honestly, it does look better. Not sure, but not sure in your main room with the lighting and distance. I don't know. But one thing I absolutely want to evangelize about, and I know I beat on this drum a lot, guys. Yeah, I almost got a lavalier mic, but I was like, do I really want to? And the thing about it is, I want a Bluetooth lavalier mic. I mean, that makes perfect sense. Talk Bluetooth, but they were all, oh, it's 2.4 gigahertz wireless. So I'd had to plug a dongle in, and then there's no guarantee that that would have been, that would have been, you know, great. I forgot my bag of holding loaded up with D&D goodness. Hi, Michael Mertig. So, yeah, where was I? Oh, right. Dragging a bunch of camera gear up here. But yeah, this poverty setup is just great. I like it a lot. Um, and I have no complaints about. Oh no, I know this is my evangel, guys. First of all, before I launch into that, 1,000 thanks to Eric for printing out my character sheets today. I had my character sheets for uh, Lost Crypt. I had my character sheets for Temple of Evil Chaos. Um, I'm just gonna say it, guys. If you play AD&D, you need to be buying. You need a copy of Chrome. You need a copy of Chrome. It is. I knocked out 10 characters. I could have done all the characters on the plane last night. I was just, or yesterday in the afternoon. I just didn't want to. Um, it quite literally saved my bacon. I went through, knocked it out. Everything was perfect. I have Crom for 32-bit. If you've got a 32-bit machine, hang on a second. Let me see. Somebody's popped up a question here. Is any of my adventures going to be available to watch? No. Getting the consent of a bunch of people that I don't know at a table. First of all, there's no miniatures and terrain. At best, it would be whiteboard. But no, I'm just going to say flat out, guys, there is no substitute for what Crom can do. Okay, it's not just about, oh hey, I gotta knock out some characters like that, because you know what? If that's all you ever need, if you never need to level your characters, if you never need to uh, have your characters mature, if all you need is simple character generation, get an abandonware copy of Dungeon Masters Assistant Volume 2. You can go use the one at the Bag of Dragon's Foot. Do that if that suits you. Awesome. If you want all of that and the ability to actually manage the character through their growth, their development, their creation, their aging, their treasure acquisition, any changes in their stats, any changes in their alignments, splitting off into a new character if they can dual class, finding out if they have psionics at creation, letting them become a bard, draining levels, adding incremental XP, buying new equipment as old equipment is discarded or broken, in a simple text interface that lets you save as text or HTML that you can display on the web. Guys, Chrome is absolutely the program you need. Could I have done what I did with the Dungeon Masters Assistant Volume 2? Maybe. But I know I could do it with Chrome. And it is now available for 32-bit systems. It'll run all the way back on Windows 8, probably on Windows 7. I'm going to start testing it on older OSs, for you guys. It is simply the best software for 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 character records, guys. It's not just a character creator. All right. I mean, let's be honest. All of us are smart enough that we could probably say, yeah, I need a fighter strength 17. Let's not make it crazy. Intelligence 9, wisdom 10, dexterity. Let's give him an armor class bonus. Dexterity 16, constitution 16. We're gonna give him an extra hit point or two. And charisma 8. He's got plate mail, helm, shield, couple flasks of oil, backpack, 50 feet of rope, 3 iron spikes. Call him 3rd level and give him 22 hit points. He's got a 2-handed sword and a long sword, bow, quiver, 25 arrows. There, I just made a character. What do I do when I want to level that character? Or I just rambled it off at the top of my head. I scroll it down on a piece of paper. Where'd that piece of paper go with that fighter I made? Cooperative Waffles, you're stuck on win 7. Waffles, seriously, I'm not leaning on you. Did you buy? I forget. Did you buy a copy of Crom? I can honestly not remember if you did. But guys, Crom is the bomb. There's nothing else like it. Cooperative Waffles, yes, I can confirm TXG, user TXG, bought Crom, and it does run on wine. Yes, it does. He has tested it on wine, works just fine all the time, Frankenstein. So, yes, if you are a Linux user, you can run Crom. If you the Bard demo won you over. Yes, you can make a Bard. So, I mean, $25. What else are you going to do with your money? Buy McDonald's for you and a loved one. That's $25. But if that sounds cool with you, if that sounds like something you want, drop me a private message, drop me an email, bsylvia@gmail.com. And I will hook you up. I believe that I can do it even from here in Lake Geneva. I can get to my Google Drive and I can send it to you. So I just think it's that damn good. Like I said, just being able to knock out characters like that. You can save your characters for that inevitable TPK. It is easy to use, Michael. It is very easy. Have you seen a demo that I don't? I know I can't demo it on my phone. It's not available for Android. Not yet. Not yet. I would like it to work. I'd like to figure out how to get it to work on Chrome. Chrome for Chrome. Oh no, it doesn't work. Um, TPK makes you think of TKO by La Tigre. It sounds familiar. You guys. Yeah. Um, so anyway, but yeah, I quite like it. It's a good program. It's a lot of fun to use. Um, and there's a follow up to it coming. Working on a Dungeon Masters management program for managing dungeon masters. What adventure will I be DMing? Adventures will I be DMing tomorrow? I will be running the 4 displayed extreme spiders. We'll be doing that. And I will also be running Temple of Evil Chaos. Temple of Evil Chaos is not exactly an adventure that I created, but rather it will be it is a piece of Keep on the Borderlands, specifically the Temple of Evil Chaos. So I'm sending the characters on a specific mission into the temple. They may cakewalk it. I have to admit, there's 10 people playing that adventure. Uh, I may have to spice it up a little bit. They might have it too easy. Good night, Chris. If you're heading off, peace and be well, my friend. But anyhow, so that's what I'm running tomorrow. Saturday is open. Am I working on that D&D TV series for you? You know what I'll do? I'll get one of those AI art programs. I better not say that too loud. Kabuki Kid will pop on this stream and just she'll use mind rays on me and it's like give me a nosebleed for saying I would do something with AI. But yeah, a D&D TV series would be. I would use one of those animation programs to like animate everything in 6 segment. The 6 seconds you get with like the freemium account or the $9.99 a month accounts, and just piece those together. Hey Rob Turner, good to see you. But yeah, Saturday. Saturday, I think I'm going to try my hand the uh, at the scavenger hunt. Do a bunch of stuff. But we'll see. We'll see what the weather's like Saturday. Um, I have to admit, I did have a good flight on American up here. I was like, oh, they offer Wi-Fi on the plane. Cool. $15. Really? $15. iTunes was free. I could have. We'll see at AZ Caliber. Now I got to go check out your channel. But anyway, here you go. Sorry, I had a like I was saying earlier, a whiskey and coke, and I think 3 spotted cows with dinner. Dinner was pretty good. The place is called the Tuscan Grill, so I had uh, pizza that was it was like it was crust with tomatoes on it, with cheese and some greens and some aioli splashed on it, and it was baked. It was good, but it wasn't pizza. It was more bruschetta. Uh, so I had some of that, and then I had like some penne pasta, some peppers and or no, not peppers. sausage in a sort of a peppery marinara, and I did have some salad. I did have some salad. Um, but yeah, I, I oh goodness. So do you guys have any questions for me about EGGCon or anything? Just write them up in the chat. Let me know. Let me know. Um, Now, if you follow me on Discord, I will be uploading a lot of pictures on Discord, or not follow me on Discord if you're on our Discord. I think French fries are soft. No. I again, I've been pretty good today. I had a chicken Caesar salad wrap down in the hotel bar that was pretty good. It came with some great French fries, but not a huge amount of fries. Yes, tomorrow after I've run it, I will we will kind of maybe do like a stream walkthrough of it together. And we can kind of check out some of the parts, but I will need to make sure that that's okay with the con organizers. Because I also know that um, there will be like a second round, like a final round, and then we will proceed apace. Warriors charge the buffet wing. Buffet wing. I don't dare do a Brian Blessed impression. Wake Alan up, he'll come out here and beat me with a pillow. Um, can I interview Skip Williams? I interviewed Skip Williams a few years ago on the show. Uh, let's say 2022. Uh, maybe even before then, 2021. Um, if I see Skip and Skip is in the mood to be interviewed, then I will interview Skip Williams, at least briefly. I don't know. I think Alan will have pre-gens. If he doesn't, I'll and he's okay with it. I'll knock together something with Chrome and just have it on hand, have it on a device, uh, if Alan's okay with it. So, I mean, if I can run it, maybe. Uh, who was I talking? Oh my gosh. Um, Kinder Wave. Oh God, Kinder. I was actually talking to one of the TSR alums earlier today. I have forgotten who it was. But he talked about his fondness for Kinder, putting Kinder and things. I said, well, Margaret Weiss said it is canonical that there is a force field around the plane on which Kinder exists that keeps them trapped on that plane. So they're not going to show up in Greyhawk. They're not going to show up in Dark Sun. They're not going to show up in Planescape. They're not going to only in that plane. She said it was canonical, and therefore we're safe. I despise those little bastards. I don't mean that ironically. I'm like, oh, I don't like them. No, they are, they are the epitome of giving it an excuse for someone to say it's what my character would do to someone who would do that, who would say it's what my character would do. You're literally handing them an excuse. What's the most interesting thing I've seen so far? Did Jeff easily show any new pieces off? I don't think Jeff showed any pieces off. I think Jeff has a lot of art of other bits. I did ask him if he was going to do a Drelsna, um, either Drelsna Asleep or Drelsna Awake black and white print, and that I would buy one if he did. He did not have any such with him. He thought about it. He's like, I don't know that I still have that original. And that would be what you'd want to knock prints off of. I mean, even the nicest scan you get would be made up of little tiny dots rather than the original ink. But the Drelsna Awake he did a few years ago. That would be neat. But I don't know that he had any brand new pieces. If you guys go back and watch the live stream I did this morning, yesterday morning, it is now 12:01. I could have looked at the clock. Oh, what is wrong with me? Yeah, if you guys go watch that video from this morning, you can kind of get a peek at what Jeff had on his table. So I don't know if those are old or new to you. Now, were they new as in, or old as in, there's the cover of Unearthed Arcana, there's the cover of his redone Dungeon Master's Guide, Player's Handbook, Monster Manual. No, I think they were newer than that, but that may not be new to you. You might have seen that stuff. The most interesting thing I have seen so far, is an absolute lack of movie stars and rock stars. These are gamers, people who game first and foremost. You still want to play a DC Marvel type hero in a game. You mean a DC Marvel type hero game or a DC Marvel type hero in a D&D game? Because that would be a little weird, like Superman on Greyhawk, It's like, oh no, what do we do? Ayuz is going to Congress. Yeah. Yeah, I played Champions. I played Hero System for many, many years. I get a kick out of it. I played all kinds of heroes. Played a guy who was basically he was like Colossus from the X-Men, and then he turned to metal, but his attitude was more like Ben Grimm, the Thing. I run a lot of power armor guys. We played a specifically Marvel based campaign briefly, and we're like, okay, this many points, but you build a Marvel superhero to run, kind of a street level Marvel superhero. And a couple of guys made their own, and I asked the game master, I said, can I run Frank Castle the Punisher? And he was like, absolutely. So now this was a dude that I've gamed with for years, like decades. And Kevin let me run John Bernthal's Marvel Punisher. And I gotta say, running a morally gray superhero in a 4-color game was quite viscerally enjoyable. It's like, okay, 2 of the henchmen have taken cover behind that van. I roll an incendiary and grenade for the van. Okay, fight's over. And my guy, and like this is so the antithesis of how I would do a D&D game, but for this it works. So it's like, let's talk about your backstory. But of course, Punisher, I've determined that Fisk, you know, Kingpin, was behind the deaths of his wife and child. So, you know, we got these guys, they're badly injured. I said, all right, I'll walk up to one of them. Uh, so what's the deal on Fisk? I was like, you know, I have no idea, Carlton Fisk. It's like plan, just double tapped it. He's not a wait for the police to come and pick these up kind of guy. And then as like a not like more powerful superheroes than you show up to do things, but as like a nice cameo, we ended up going because there was like a virus that was turning people psychotic, or not a virus, but a chemical that was turning people like into criminals. It was like shutting off the part of their brain of don't steal stuff. It was turning them into sociopaths. And in our part Hell's Kitchen there in New York, we we were like putting the antidote, spraying people with the antidote, putting it in water supplies and stuff like that. And Mr. Fantastic, the Fantastic Four, made it. And so, yeah, Kevin had this speech where he was like, you're going to go to jail for what you've done, right? You're operating beyond the bounds of decent restraint. I am going to catch up with you. And I hope it's me because I will see you, answer for what you've done. And I just looked at him and said, I hope for your sake it's not you. And it was real cool. Is a creator of Dwarven Forge? Yeah, Stefan's kicking around. I talked to him for like 10 seconds, did a fist bump. I haven't really done much Dwarven Forge lately other than use the awesome sets that I've got. That sounds like shade. I'm not, but there's just didn't really have an interaction with the guy. I have thought about it, Wave, but that is requires such a buy-in. That is such a buy-in for players and for the audience. I mean, I could do a one-off on a Wednesday night with the right crew. It would just take some doing, just take some doing. And it's called alcohol. What's called alcohol? Superheroes versus the NCOD could be fun. Thanks for answering. Oh, you're very welcome. Yeah, okay, so I mean, I know Batman, I know the Joker, I know Superman, Aquaman, we all watched the Super Friends when we were kids in the 70s, right? That's just what we did. Um, but I never knew, other than the incredibly broad strokes, much about the DC universe. Batman's parents were killed. Superman came from Krypton. Aquaman is from Atlantis, I think. Um, Wonder Woman's from Amazonia. Uh, you know, uh, Green Lantern got his ring from the Green Lantern. So I didn't figure it was relevant. I did not know that the Joker has no backstory. I I didn't. It has no origin story. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I could do like like if there's a supers game that is lightweight. But yeah, I mean, if I ran Hero System, I run Hero 5, maybe. Certainly wouldn't run 6. 6 is an alien country to me. So it's a little difficult for me to do that. Oh, book wise, when I came up here, I brought my reproduction AD&D books that Watsy released back in 2014. I think it was, with the gold leaf around the edge and the what do you call it, the silk bookmarks in them. Back when Wizards of the Coast cared about Dungeons and Dragons. Uh, I did not bring anything vintage except my DM screen. Reason being, and just kind of a generic copy of B2 that I had just kicking around. The reason being is I really did not want to risk something happening to books that are now filled with autographs. I mean, the books are semi irreplaceable. It's like if something happened to my dungeon, like if I had no autographs in my Dungeon Master's Guide, um, and something happened to it, that would suck. I would hate it because it had a lot of memories, but I have others, or I could go online and get a POD, or I could get a replacement off of eBay. If something happened to my true first Dungeon Master's Guide, that is effectively irreplaceable. Nobody's going to let that go. Um, oh, hey, Kyle. Hey, man. Um, yeah, no, no, brother. It's never because you don't bring snacks. I thought I told you I would be up here. Across my heart, I could have sworn that we talked about that. Um, but the autographed Dungeon Master's Guide, Monster Manual, the autographed deities and demigods, um, all of that, that is irreplaceable. There is no. I'll meet up with Gary next time, get his autograph, and we'll have a good laugh about me losing the first one. Right? My Dungeon Master's Guide, Gary, Jim Ward, Errol Otis, Darlene, uh, my my deities and demigods. It's Jim Ward, it's Errol Otis, Darlene again, and also uh, Dave Estel Force. Um, and my monster manual has a little illustration somewhere in it. I can't remember where. That Tom Wham did for me. There's a snit somewhere he illustrated, not the one by the Rakshasha, uh, which of course is not Tom Wham. It's Dave Trampier drew a snit, but he drew a snit. That sounds like he got really mad. Oh, he drew a snit. But yeah, my OD&D books, those are pretty much unobtainium. Yes, Tom is here. I haven't had a chance to talk to him. Also, I thought you were I thought you were still doing dad stuff, Kyle. Burning Solar Surfer, Rage Bait. Comics inaccurate. The character design. Yeah, she doesn't look good. I have like negative interest in seeing any more Marvel slop. Well, that's what I meant, Kyle. I'm sorry. I didn't mean it like that, brother. I just meant I thought like I thought you were not getting a break 9 to 3 for the next couple of weeks. Tom Wham is the single best super. Yeah. But yeah, let's see. So many guys are here. I think Doug Niles is here. Could be wrong. Chet Minton is here. We had Chet on the show before. Um, I can't. So many people are here. I still look around though, guys, and I just I'm not looking for ass pats or anything, but yeah, I've been looking around and been like, why? I mean, other than we need a warm body to run a game, why am I here? I don't mean that "Oh, I don't want to be here." I'm just like, I'm blown away by it. And somebody else invited me to another con out of state. I don't mean like, hey, you should come up here sometime. Like, what do I need to do to get you up to the con? But like, you know, I don't go to cons. Can't afford to go to cons. The last con I went to was GaryCon in 2023, and that's because you guys helped make it happen. And I don't, that's it's just kind of how things are. I'm not whining about it. It's just the way things are. So, when what is it exactly you need? And I'm talking to this guy, and I'm like, plane ticket, hotel, per diem. I hate to say that. I hate that because it makes me it's like it makes me sound grabby, and that's not the case. Not like that. Just a stage in my life where I fuck things up too bad to be able to go and do stuff like that. Just be like, oh yeah, here's my credit card, whatever. Yes, Galactus has had a female herald. Her name was Nova. Not She wasn't part of the Nova Corps. She was just called Nova. She was a human. Yeah, it's been 2 years co-op. Nova was part of the last Galactus story, which never got finished, unless it did. Somebody wants to check me out on the. It was being serialized in Epic Illustrated by Marvel. It was really good. It was really intense. Galactus did finally eat the Earth, but he ate the Earth. It was millions of years in the future, not billions, just millions of years in the future. But there there were no Earthlings left anymore, and Galactus. I don't know if they'll change this up in the comics. The comics have changed so much since the 70s and 80s that I don't recognize them. Uh, it's I'm having a lot of fun, Bob. It's going well, thank you. But um, but yeah, Galactus. made a deal with Reed Richards. He basically made a bargain that says, look, you're going to fight me on other planets. If I win, that planet's going down the gullet. But he basically said, we have an agreement. I'll never break it. I will not consume the Earth. And when he came back to Earth, he brought Nova back with him, and he was like, go, my herald. What's going on Earth? And she basically said, yeah, it's abandoned. And humans were, based on the architecture and everything, humans were vastly different. So Galactus basically came to the conclusion that he, since Reed Richards was dead, his bargain with him was null and void. So he consumed the Earth. He ate the Earth. But Galactus found a mega structure where there are all these planets. He went to find these planets, and the planets weren't where they were supposed to be. When he traveled to one of the planets, because they were all like arranged in a ring with artificial suns, keeping them light, giving them light and everything. And he stopped and he talked to some of the people on the planet, and they were like, "We thought this was you. We thought you had done this. You're the only being in the universe that wields this kind of power." And he was like, "No, it's not me." And they went further. They explored further and deeper into the largely empty cosmos, and they found something that was unspeakably huge. Like Nova went in it for Galactus, just as Herald. She goes and gets stuff done, and she started flying through this ship, this structure, and she was flying along the corridor, and she reached just underneath the speed of light, still moving through an artificial object. She was like, this thing's big. Well, something in there drained some of her power and expelled her. And it really upset Galactus. So he went flying through this thing. It was indestructible to him, but he reaches the center, and at the center of it is the Watcher, Uatu. And so he starts demanding answers, and Uatu's response to him, literally last panel, last sentence, it's like, oh, I would assume you would have many questions to the one who created you. That was the last ever published issue of Epic Illustrated. We never got a conclusion to that. We never got a conclusion. There was a to be continued box, even though it was the last issue. But as far as I know, it was never picked up. So see, I hate retcon arcs. I really don't. I think there's stuff that you either have to bottle the Marvel universe, like case in point. Tony Stark was critically injured when he was demonstrating Stark weapons technology in Vietnam, which would have put him in his 30s, mid 30s, early 40s in 1965, 1966, which means let's say he was in his 30s then, in 1966. It's 2026. You see the problem. Yeah, watch it was terrible at his job. But sorry, just but you have to account for the fact that, I mean, it was a big deal in the 1980s when Peter Parker graduated college. They made that a a, a a big deal, you know. Hey, Captain Infinity, David Mills. So so yeah, you had a an issue where characters weren't aging out of who they were supposed to be, or you were just going to have to keep finding reasons why, you know, Richards was not in his 70s, in the 80s, and so on and etc. I get kind of adjusting stuff like that, but I don't like retcons that are like, I don't know, everything that Fox has done with the X-Men universe. So many reboots. How many freaking times has Logan travel time and everything? It's just yeah, I'm kind of with you on that, Bob. Just after Infinity War, just done with it. I mean, I was kind. Wait, I mean, if you're talking about the whole arc to literally the last movie, yeah. But anyway, I'm pretty beat, and I got to hit the biffy. So if y'all don't mind, I'm probably going to wrap up. Thanks for tuning in. I'll do another wrap up tomorrow night, which is Friday, which still blows my mind because in the past I used to do cons were like Friday, Saturday, go home Sunday. I got here late afternoon yesterday. There's all today. There's still all tomorrow. There's still all Saturday, and there's still a chunk of Sunday, and then I'm going home Monday morning. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap up. I really need to work on keeping stuff up properly and talking to my co-hosts or him because uh, Kyle, if you're still watching or listening, I apologize. I, honest to God, cross my heart. I thought I had. I. I'm sorry. Sorry. All right, guys. That's going to end it for me. I might take the boomstick, which is that's what that is. I hate selfie stick. I might take the boomstick around with me uh, to some places if I go do the scavenger hunt and draw some things. Um, and I will get more pictures to you guys. So be good. I love you all. Peace, and I'll talk to you later.